a premium device, 12 nanometers. You don't necessarily have to use MediaTek chips all the time, but if you have to, you could use a Dimensity. Is what we expected, a Dimensity chip. Okay, not the fact that it will support 5G, but the fact that it has a much smaller process. Oh my god. Okay, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Wazz here again. If you're new here, what we basically do is smartphone overviews and tutorials, as well as app reviews and tutorials. Overviews basically looking at the specs on paper, the theory of how a smartphone is going to perform in the real world. Today's video is Phantom X versus the Camon 16 Premier. 16 Premier was just last year, towards the end of the year, and then we had the 17 Pro this year. So it's not that old, but I mean, it stands up to the Phantom X. That's basically what I'm trying to say in this video. So let's just look at the similarities. Quite a lot of similarities here, don't you think? A premium device is supposed to have a little more than that. I think, well, I mean, that's what premium stands for, right? The likes of the Xiaomi Mi 11 Lite, I will forever use this device to compare the smartphone with this the Phantom X, because the price is also another ridiculous thing which we're going to talk about at the end of the video. But let's move on to today's video. Phantom X 16 Premier. Let's start with the display. So with the sizing, there's not much difference. There's 6.7 inches on the Phantom X, 6.85 on the Camon 16 Premier. Both have 90 Hz refresh rate. They're at the max. But then the difference is the Phantom X comes with a curved AMOLED display with another display fingerprint scanner, but the 16 Premier comes with just a flat LCD panel with a side-mounted fingerprint scanner. Not much there, but you know, it being AMOLED on the Phantom X makes it more battery efficient. You're getting, you know, deeper blacks. You're getting more true vibrant colors as compared to the LCD on the 16 Premier. Another big feature of a smartphone is the processor, which determines its speed and much of its capabilities to handle a lot. So Phantom X comes with a Helio, MediaTek's Helio G95, a premium device, 12 nanometer processor, but the 16 Premier comes with also MediaTek's processor. It's a Helio G90T, also 12 nanometer processor. Not much of a big deal when the 16 Premier comes with a 12 nanometer process chip, but a premium device, 12 nanometers. You don't necessarily have to use MediaTek chips all the time, but if you have to, you could use a Dimensity. Is what we expected, a Dimensity chip. Okay, not the fact that it will support 5G, but the fact that it has a much smaller process. Oh my god. So G95 on the Phantom X, and then, you know, G90T on the Camon 16 Premier. You think there's a difference between these two the processors, but there is not. CPU, GPU are the same, clock speed is similar, and even we in the tech world call the G95 a refurbished G90T. It was released a year and a half after the G90T. G90T was 2019, G95 was 2020, and there's, honestly, I'm just going to basically tell you that there's no difference between these two processors. So these two devices are pretty much going to perform the same. A premium device with a device which is almost 1 year old now. That's how ridiculous the entire Phantom X hype is. Moving to the camera, now another interesting feature of a device. Starting with the Phantom X, on its rear end, we have a 50 megapixel shooter, a big lens right there, a 13 megapixel telephoto with 2x zoom, and an 8 megapixel ultra wide, shoots 4K at 30 frames per second. On the selfie end, we have two lenses there, 48 megapixel main and an 8 megapixel ultra wide. The 16 Premier comes with a 64 megapixel main lens, no telephoto. This is just your regular good old mid-ranger, nothing special about it, so no telephoto lens. An 8 megapixel ultra wide, a 2 megapixel depth, and a 2 megapixel dedicated video lens, shoots 4K at 30 frames per second and 1080p at 30 frames per second. On the selfie end, we have pretty much the same thing we have on the Phantom X. We have a 48 megapixel main with an 8 megapixel ultra wide, the same thing. So it kind of looks like we have more megapixels on the 17 Pro than this premium device. So unless there is some form of software working on the 50 megapixel lens on the Phantom X, is the premium device, it's gonna suck compared to the, you know, this 16 Premier, because like there's more megapixels now, so we're gonna see this kind of like you know, a little more detail on there. Like we've always been saying though, 1 megapixel doesn't equate to a better camera, but this is the same brand, not 1 year apart. So The pricing, like I said, is ridiculous. About $560 on the Phantom X compared to $270 on the Camon 16 Premier. That's almost twice, you know, like almost $200 in addition to it, to the price of the Camon 16 Premier. But then we also compare it to the Infinix Note 7. So stay tuned for that video, subscribe and get notified. Before then, I'll see you. Peace out, stay safe and keep wearing the mask.